Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode all about a fursuiter, the series where we interview furries. Get to know a little bit more about the furry fandom, one fursuiter at a time. Yes. So before we get into today's episode, I want to address something about last week's video, kind of error that I made. I do apologize. So Pulse of Dub Dog was made by Night Sky Studios, but she was also made by someone named Cryptid Creations. So Cryptid Creations is a transgender fursuit maker. Cryptid Creations has made 39 fursuits in their span of 6 years of the time in the furry fandom, which is really efficient and really great. As you're seeing the pictures here, they make really great fursuits, they make really great quality stuff. So I'll leave a link down in the description down below, just because of my little mistake there. I want to be sure to mention them too. Anyway, let's get into today's video. And today we're interviewing GG Blackback. So GG Blackback is actually our first primate fursuiter, I should say. So as always, we are going to be asking 5 questions. And after the 5th question, then we'll do switcheroo round. And after that, we'll ask me a question. So, without further ado, let's get into today's video.
Hi Benji, it's me, GG Blackback. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me for this interview. It's a huge honor and I'm excited for these questions. Yay!
Hey there, GG Blackback. It's so nice to meet you. I'm so excited to do this with you. Let's get into the first question, my dude. Yes. So first question for you, GG Blackback, is tell us, what are some facts about your persona, GG Blackback? Yes.
You know what's funny? Originally, GG Blackback wasn't what his name was originally going to be. At the time, I didn't know what name I wanted to name him, so I just settled for an acronym. GG was just supposed to be a stand name, and Blackback wasn't originally supposed to be next to GG, but I just like the way it sounds, GGBB. GG itself is pretty much a reference to a lot of famous gorillas, both real and fictional. So for example, GG can stand for Gorilla Grodd, who is a comic book character from DC. And another thing that really caught me off guard, my friend told me that GG could also stand for Gorilla, the scientific name for gorilla.
That's actually really fascinating. That's really fascinating. Gorilla Grodd, he's a Marvel fan, so I'm actually really familiar with that. That's really cool. However, I didn't know about gorilla. That's really fascinating. The scientific term for gorilla. That's really cool. That is really awesome. I love that so much. That's really cool, my dude. I love that. I love that so much. Yes. On to the second question now, and I think that's a 2. That's definitely not a 2. We can all say that's not a 2. Anyway, on to the second question now, and that is, what was your reasoning to become a primate? Yes.
Oh man. Believe it or not, I originally didn't want a primate fursuit. At the time when I was going to FWA back in 2019, I wanted a fursuit because my friend was coming to get me and I wanted to have fun with everyone who was attending, including some of my friends that were going. So I remember how cheap gorilla suits were at the time. So I just went to a local Halloween store and I bought a costume to go with it because I also cosplay. And I know how much a lot of furries like to combine costumes together with the fursuits, which I think is one of the most coolest and creative things I've ever seen in my life. And I decided to add a little bit more flavor to my persona. So as a result, I decided to make him at the time a well-dressed gorilla at FWA because I wanted to go for one day, but I also wanted to make an impact.
You know, I think that is really cool. You know, I actually wanted to go to FWA 2019, but it just couldn't happen that year. But that is really neat, my dude. That's really awesome. Yeah. Yes. On to the third question now. I'm definitely counting that as 3. We're just gonna count this right here as a 3. Yes. So on to the third question now, and that is, how did you find the primate community?
Funny story about that. I was originally looking for more primate furries in the fandom, regardless of what they were. So, chimp, gorilla, lemur, orangutan. I just wanted to look for one. And so, I was going on Facebook, Facebook, as well as Twitter to see if I can find more gorilla furries. And when I was looking up primate furries in particular, I happened to come across a very amazing purple pinkish gorilla named Sweetheart. But at the time, I did not have a Twitter. So what I did was, I knew that one of my friends had a Twitter, and I politely asked her if she could respond to this person for me. She was nice enough, said yes, and we started communicating back and forth via her. And I was later on discovered that she had a Telegram group for primates that I could join, since I recently had Telegram myself at the time.
That is just really neat, my dude. I don't know what to say. That's really neat. That's awesome how you found it through a Telegram group, how she led you to all the welcoming primates there. That's just so cool. It's just so cool how welcoming the primate community is. That it's so awesome. I love that. Love how positive, how welcoming, how awesome, how everyone's just so. That's awesome. I love that, my dude. Yes. And now on to the fourth question. Now that is not a 4. We're just gonna say right there, that's not a 4. No. Now on to the fourth question now, and that is, what is your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit? Ooh, that's an easy one. I know this may be the most stereotypical thing, but I absolutely love bananas. Why? Just mostly because not only they're a good source of potassium, but they're also delicious in banana variety style desserts, such as banana split, banana sundae, and I love banana bread. Not to mention, they're just a good source of pre-workout food, since I love to work out as well, and I have to be maintaining my physique to be a big, strong monkey. The stereotype about primates eating bananas is pretty wild for me, but honestly, I absolutely love bananas. Yeah, I guess you can think they're very appealing.
Boy. Banana. Nah. And now on to the fifth and final question. And that is, what are some positive things that you want to share to the primate community, to those who are new to joining?
Honestly, there's just so many positive things about the primate community we can just talk about, take all day. But the greatest thing I love about the primate community and I want new people to know about, especially when we get into the community, is just how open-minded and close-knit a lot of them are. It doesn't matter what primate persona you are. You can be a strong gorilla, you can be an artistic lemur, you can be a nerdy orangutan. It doesn't matter, because if you have a primate persona, eventually so many people in the community will not only welcome you into the group, but encourage you to be more creative, do more with your persona. We just want to see the best. We just wanted to see how it's okay to be a primate in a fandom that is traditionally looked down upon.
I think that's really neat, my dude. That is really awesome. We really need that positivity. We need that strength. We really need that. I think there's a lot of positivity that goes into the primate community, just the furry fandom in general. There's a lot of positivity, a lot of community, a lot of creativity, like you said. there's a lot of amazing stuff that goes with it. Now, on to the switcheroo round. And this is for Gigi Blackback will get to ask me a question. Oh, not at all nervous here. Anyway, let's get into it.
I got one. If you could choose from your top 3 fursuit makers, or the most expensive ones, which fursuits would you wear and why?
That's actually a really good question, Gigi. But I think I know the answer. Honestly, there's a lot of good fursuit makers out there, but there are 3 that honestly I would really love to wear, that I'd love to try, or ever just I'm having experience with. So the third one in third place is one that's really hard to get a hold of just because it's so expensive, for one, and second, their commissions are rarely open, and that's Phoenix Nest. Phoenix Nest is a really good maker, but just because they're hard to get a hold of. I would love to get a Phoenix Nest too, but yeah. Number 2 is one I almost had a chance on, but it kind of didn't happen. That's Lazy Loop or Loop Suits. They make really good suits and they're really good prices, but it didn't quite happen, so. And my number 1, well, they don't make suits anymore, as far as I know, and that's Mischief Makers. Ever since I found the fandom, I've always wanted a Mischief Maker suit, but that's probably not gonna happen, sadly. But yeah, I've always wanted a Mischief Maker suit. That'd be really cool. Yeah. I want to give a huge thanks to GG Blackback. Seriously, amazing having him here. Awesome guy, really cool dude, amazing positive influence on the fandom. Seriously, an amazing guy. If you want to check him out, I'll leave all social media links in the description down below. But seriously, be sure to check him out. He's a seriously amazing guy. I couldn't thank him enough for being on the show. My first primate fursuiter interview, and it was seriously an amazing one. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Gigi. Awesome person, awesome guy. If you guys enjoyed this, give this a like, subscribe. But it's for always. And it's for always. I bid ya a good farewell.